seats, position and lock, seatbelts are fastened, parking brake is set, feet are at the top of the pedals, all avionics are off, everything looks good. Go and put that in the neutral position. Circuit breakers check all in, everything looks good. Landing gear handle is secure, landing gear handle is back here, which is secure. Landing gear confirmed down, down. Let's see, flaps up, cowl flaps are open, light switches as required. Fuel selector is on the fullest tank. Battery and alternator on. Since it's cold, we're gonna go ahead and put the throttle all the way open. Mixture is gonna come all the way rich down here. Fuel pump is coming on until fuel pressure peak. And there's peak, we're gonna go ahead and turn it off. Fuel pump off. Let's go ahead and put throttle slight. Ignition start. Clear. Sound is good in the cockpit. Everything looks good. Cylinder head, EGT, all looks normal. Flaps on. Go ahead and turn on our nav lights. Landing light is okay. We'll go ahead and put our flaps up. Okay, lean immediately. Engine monitors we checked. Weather and flight planning, brakes, instruments. Okay, we are on the CTOF on our COM 1 here. Weather's on 2, so let's go ahead and listen.
Dew point, -9 Celsius. Altimeter, 3, 0, 0. 6 inches of mercury. Density altitude, 620, 0.
200.
Minden Tahoe Airport. Automated weather observation, 220 Zulu. Wind variable at 6 knots. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition clear below 12,000. Temperature 19 Celsius. Dew point -0, 0.
There we go. Okay, talking on COM 1. Traffic, radio check.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. All right, all that starting our taxi. Brakes are good. Airspeed is rating 0. Attitude indicator is level. Turn coordinator acting normally. Heading indicator looks normal. I'm going to have to reset it here real quick. Looks good. I'm very excited to take you guys on my very first filmed flight here with Debi. It's a Tuesday here at Minden Airport, and I'm excited to take you guys on a special flight. I live here near the Lake Tahoe area. So today I'm going to take you guys around the lake. Tahoe is on the border of Nevada and California. It's the most gorgeous lake I've ever been to. It's unlike any other. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, taxiing for runway 34 via Charlie, Minden. Whew, and it's already hot out here today. Summer is coming. I'm really happy to be filming with my new Nflight setup here. They give me an audio cable, a GoPro, for my wingtip, so I get to get those wingtip shots for you guys, as well as a bunch of other fun little pieces of gear to help me film while I'm flying. And I'm also very happy to have a Sentry with me. I bought the one that has carbon monoxide monitoring. It has a backup attitude system, so in case any of my instruments fail, I can actually back up to that should I need to. And most importantly, it also has active traffic, which is really nice to be able to see the traffic around you, not only, keeping my eyes outside, but also on the screen of my phone using ForeFlight. It also has real-time weather, so just a major safety improvement for my airplane. Speaking of improvements, Debi goes in for her first upgrades coming up here in the beginning of June. And number one, between some just fun upgrades I wanted for myself, she is getting shoulder harnesses. So they are quite expensive to put into an airplane. However, I think it's worth it. I'm going to spend the money to have shoulder harnesses. So that's the number one major
0458.
improvement. Okay, before takeoff, parking brake is set. Radios we checked. The pressure looks good. We're on the fullest tank, so throttle looks good. Fuel pump check off. Off is down. Throttle 1700 RPM. I'm going to go ahead and enrichen it a little bit because I had it leaned for taxi. All right, bringing it up to 1700. All right, there's 1700. I'm going to lean for peak performance. There's the drop. You can kind of see it on my RPM and you can hear it. Right, first one, RPM drop, manifold pressure went up. Now I'm looking at my oil pressure. Stayed in the green, just a little bit of a drop. Now looking for splash off my nose. Everything looks good. Propeller is good, magnetos. I'm going to check my left now, looking at my RPMs here. Good drop right around 50. Back up. Oh, there's off. And back over to my right, which is right around 50. All right, good. My magnetos are working as they should. I want to make sure my trim is set. Aileron, making sure my trim is set. All right, trim is set. Aileron is neutral. Flaps are up, making sure they're up. Indicator is in neutral. Doors, windows secured. Controls check. Bring it all the way over to my left. Bring it all the way over to the right. Feels okay. We're going to put throttle to full once we line up on the runway. We're going to check our engine instruments. We're rotating at 70 knots. That's also going to be our approach speed, 75 over the numbers. Climb out is going to be 100 knots. Then we're going to put our gear up when there's no longer any runway remaining and positive rate. Then we're going to set our power and prop. Making sure I'm clear. Base to final. Looks good. EGD, CHT, look up.
Minden traffic citation jet 107 pump tango is holding short 3-4, ready for departure sequence.
Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, departing runway 34.
Minden.
Alright, I got him in sight. Alright, full power. Yep, alright, let's bring our power back. And prop coming back. Off the red line. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, left crosswind. Okay, I just turned my left downwind for 3-4. 6,600, climbing up for 9,500, and I'm going to go over Kingsbury grade. So I just climbed up to 9,500. I've been circling just south of Minden is kind of the best way to get up here. And now I'm going to head westbound over Kingsbury Pass to Lake Tahoe. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, about 8 miles to the south of the field, 9,500 heading westbound over Kingsbury grade, Minden. Alright, picking up some speed, going down a little bit. We're going to hang out at 9,500. And it is a gorgeous day. Everything looks good on my engine gauges. Got myself set at about 18 inches of manifold pressure. And I'm doing right about 11 gallons an hour, which is awesome. I'm doing about 130 indicated. As you can see, Kingsbury grade is just in front of me. It's kind of over here to the north of Heavenly, which is a ski resort I really love to go to. And it's also kind of the terrain dips, so that's where I usually make the passing over to Lake Tahoe. 9,500 is a good altitude, gives you enough clearance. There's two passes you can use coming from the east over here over to the west, and that's Kingsbury grade, which is to the south of the lake, and Spinner Summit is to the north. So I'm going to make one more check of all of my instruments before I pass over Kingsbury. And what's good about mountain flying is you always want to leave yourself an out. So if I had any problems coming over this grade here, I can actually dive back down into the valley into Minden. That will be our plan, and then as we get closer to the lake, you can always ditch in the lake, which is less desirable than just landing at South Lake. So that is the plan. Do we have any emergencies? All right, looking for traffic. I don't see anyone. I'm going to make one last call. Traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, 9,500, heading westbound over Kingsbury grade. Last call, Minden. All right, I'm going to switch over to Tahoe, which is 12285. Tahoe traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, 9,500, heading westbound over Kingsbury grade. Then we're going to be circling the lake clockwise. Tahoe. All right, going over the mountains, we can get some bumps here. And I'm going to leave my cowl flaps open even though I'm in cruise, just because my temps are still looking a little hot. So I'm just going to close them now. That'll give us a little more speed, less drag. You can see the lake in front of us, and still no traffic that I'm seeing. It all looks good. So ready for boating season. And just in front of me, I can see South Lake and State Line. A few bumps. So 130 knots is my maneuvering speed for this airplane, so I'm going to go ahead and slow down a little bit to achieve 130 knots. There's South Lake, and I don't see any traffic departing out of the airport here. Wow, how pretty. Beautiful day, and look at that water, it's so blue. There's approaches into South Lake that lead you kind of over the lake, so I'm going to make sure I don't see anyone coming over the lake as well. And we are nice, trimmed out. I'm going to circle over Emerald Bay for you guys for a moment, which is one of my favorite places to go in the boat. And there's some beautiful hikes here. You can actually see it off of my left wing right now. Gonna make sure I'm clear. Everything looks good.
I've seen the stars on the ocean, and fields of grass beneath the blue.
Absolutely gorgeous. I love being over Emerald Bay. That's always a treat. And just having a really nice time. I absolutely love making this kind of my exercise run for Debi. And this is about my 10th to 11th flight in Debi so far. I wanted to make sure I got to know my airplane before I added cameras to the equation. And I also did the ABS, American Bonanza Society course as well. Tahoe traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, 9,500 just coming up on Tahoe City, circling the lake clockwise, Tahoe. We always want to make calls around the lake just to make sure everyone knows where we are and where we're going. And I'm coming up on Truckee, which is a pretty popular airport, so I always want to make sure I'm looking this mountain range over here. Make sure that there's no aircraft coming up over and into the Tahoe area through there. I'm approaching Incline Village, which is where I used to live for about 3 months. So over last summer I lived in Incline Village near the beach, and then I moved down to the South Reno area with my family. So just a little bit about me. My name is Haley Herberg. You know me as Fly with Haley. And I am a flight instructor with about 1,200 hours and a commercial multi-engine, single-engine land license. Flying for about 4 years now, and it's been a dream of mine ever since I got my student pilot license to own an airplane. So it's really come full circle. Tahoe traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, 9,500 overflying Incline Village, circling the lake clockwise, Tahoe. Oh, I love this airplane. This is such a fun airplane. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my fuel tank to the right tank, and let's make sure fuel flow still looks good and everything else looks normal. And I'm going to go ahead and actually bring back the mixture a little more. We can do a little less than this. Doing 11 gallons. All right, we're coming up on Spooner, so check in there, making sure there's no traffic over there. I'm going to swing my wings a little bit. Perfect. And flying along. This is a very special flight. I'm glad I got you guys with me up here, and I'm happy this is my first flight with you guys in Debi. And really, she is just a beautiful airplane, like very well built, performance rate. It's a fast airplane when I want it to be, and it can go nice and slow, fuel efficient if I want it to be fuel efficient. That is great. I've almost completed my circle and our tour of Lake Tahoe. And going forward, I would love to show you guys some of my favorite spots to hang out here, because there's really just amazing hiking, camping. There's so many boating activities. In the winter, there's multiple, really, really fun ski resorts that I love to ski. I'm a skier. Yeah, and it's actually a huge lake. It's a high alpine lake. I mean, I'm up at 9,500, and I maybe have 2,000 feet clearance, so it's pretty high up here. And there's also a lot of really fun rivers from the snowmelt to float. We call it floating a river, and you just basically grab a tube and some beer and float down the river, and that's a lot of fun as well. And another cool part about this area is there's actually a ton of hot springs. There's hot springs everywhere. And there's also a lot of fun backcountry flying places, including dry lake beds. There's geysers you can fly over, and I'll have to do a flight with you guys flying over the Pyramid Lake Geyser. I also want to land Debi in the dirt, so we will be seeing that eventually. There's a lot of, like I said, dry lake beds with really compact, surfaces good for Debi to land on. And obviously, long enough my airplane to land and take off on. All right, coming up to Kingsbury Grade again. This is where it gets a little tricky. You don't want to shock cool your engine, because we're going to have to descend pretty fast here. Tahoe traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, 9,500, about to cross over to the east, over to Minden. Tahoe. And you can hear my wonderful 30-year-old radios just cut out a little bit, so this could use a little tuning. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it'll just cut out in the middle of transmission, and it's really annoying. So, old airplane for you. Plenty of upgrades to make. Okay, when it's over to Minden's frequency, which is 12305. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, 9,500, crossing over Kingsbury Grade. They're going to be entering on a left 45 for the downwind runway 34, Minden. Passing over Kingsbury Grade now. Checking our engine gauges one more time. Everything is performing nicely. And let's look for traffic. We're kind of going up a little bit, so I'm actually going to start a gentle descent. This is also where it gets a little bumpy. It's good to be in maneuvering speed. I don't want to shock cool my cylinders as well. This is kind of where I kind of let the Minden dive. It's where you kind of dive down from the mountains because you're so high up here. Go ahead and trim up. Descending nicely, I'm at 9.5. I'm going to swing around to the left over here and enter on a 45 for the downwind for Minden. Alright, let's keep our descent coming. Cylinder head temperatures are right around 300, so that's still okay. Cowl flaps are closed. Everything looks good. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, just over Kingsbury Grade, 8,300 descending down for 5,700. Going to be entering on a 45 for the left downwind runway 34, Minden. Then a little more power, just so Debi's happy. Also swing your gear as well as the speed brake coming down nicely. A little bit of bumps. There's always little bumps coming down through here. About 140. And take my power back even more. Down to 700. So just a little bit more to go. And that looks good. Alrighty. We are 6,600. I've got another airplane over here in sight. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, on the 45 for the left downwind runway 34, Minden. Another airplane. It looks like he's above me. She keeps slowing down. Good for traffic. I'm 5,700. Perfect. Right as I'm entering traffic pattern, I don't see the guy over there.
Minden traffic, helicopter 212 Delta Fox is green and white. Huey, about 3 miles to the southeast and down for landing. Northwest corner of the airfield, Minden.
Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, left downwind runway 34, Minden. Let's go ahead and swing our gear. Gear swinging. And gear confirmed down, gear confirmed down. Let's do our pre-landing checklist at 100 knots right now. So gas is on full as tanks, lights, undercarriage. Mixture is set. I'm going to bring in a little bar ridge. I'm going to bring my power's already back. I can bring my prop full forward. Alright, I can do my first notch of flaps. I'm in the white arc. Come over here, let's do 10 degrees. The flaps, there it is. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, left base, runway 34, full stop, Minden. Still don't have a helicopter in sight. Send a little more, I'm a little high. Alright, I want to be 75 over these numbers. And I've got the helicopter in sight. Do my second. Your flaps, I actually have to look at my flap for the indication. Bring it out even more. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, final runway 34, Minden, and helicopter at you in sight.
202 Delta Fox, thank you. Are you going to do a touch and go or full stop?
Full stop for Debi 15 November Charlie. Alright, flaps. Helicopter got out of the way for me. And this is the land of crosswinds. Alright, don't want to get too slow. And so looking at the numbers here, I'm just going to bring my power to idle. Then my nose high.
Minden traffic, helicopter 202 Delta Fox is crossing runway 3416.
Flaps coming up. I am hot, hot, hot. All flaps coming open. Light off and trim. Go ahead and put back to 0. Minden traffic, Debi 15 November Charlie, clearing runway 34 at Charlie, then taxiing to the southwest hangars.
Honey, I just wanna come home to you.
And that concludes our short but sweet flight over Lake Tahoe and Debi's debut flight. So thanks so much for flying along with me. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you next time.
Honey, I just wanna come home to you.
Bananas are heavy. Oh my gosh.